Hi, everybody. My name is Yonsuk Chae. I am working at the Gyeongbuk National University for Department of German Education. Today, I am talking about ourselves, what I'm working also. The title of my presentation is Poesy and Bibliotherapy as Adult Education, based on the self-growing and realizing lives of 4 therapists. Before I present my presentation, I ask myself, can poesy and bibliotherapy become an adult education? In an effort to identify an answer to this question, this study looks at the lives of 4 women therapists. All of them have experienced an extraordinary moment at a specific point of their lives, which guided them to choose literary therapy as a second career. In other words, it can be said that they have thought a path to adult education long before they were even aware of the specific field. It's fair to say that therapists are making significant contributions to communities in terms of a therapeutic and clinical aspects, rather than taking an immediate and accurate approach. The poesy on bibliotherapy focuses on fundamental causes of the problem and helps people identify the best opinions available in their lives. My presentation are 4 sessions. First, introduction. This presentation is aimed to describe and suggest how 4 research participants came to select the literary therapist course for adult education as a transformative curriculum, and to grow and develop owing to it using a self-narrative method. Through the cases of literary therapists, this presentation is intended to examine how the literary therapy as adult education came to develop individual confidence and secure professionalism as a lifelong education and adult education. Even in addition to that, it is supposed to show how these therapists proceed with solving self-realization, self-discovery, and psychological problem and emotional problem. Second is research method. This presentation is applied the research method in which research participants becomes researchers at the same time. In order for literary therapists as research participants themselves to put forward the process of literary therapy as adult learning and of literary therapy as lifelong education. This study is describing in order of life before experiencing literary therapy. Second, process of experiencing literary therapy. Third, after polishing of literary therapy. This research method is based on a self-culture descriptive method in which each life is deeply formed on the own perspective and observation. In addition, this process was narrated the transitional opportunity and the outcome caused by it, focusing on the life-changing courses as for the image before and after meeting literary therapy. Third is research participants' backgrounds and results. There are 4 women, all women, and they have different jobs. One is professor, Jasmine is a one-person business woman, Jennifer is instructor, Bluebird is poet. There are 50s, all 50s. They are working 15 years as a literary therapist in Korea, in Daegu. So case one is apple tree. Apple tree's life before experiencing literary therapy is like that. I have experienced various lives in 2 child rearing and the school. There was a need of a pursuit for finding a new way to study as South Korea faces the crisis of humanities in the end of the 1990s. Second, process of experiencing literary therapy. Research of literary therapeutics was linked to the practice course at German European Institute of Mental Health and Fritz Perls Institute. I came to live as a research professor, invited to the institute for 1 year in 2011. So, third, after polishing of literary therapy, apple trees is being active in the theory and clinical field as for literary therapeutics as the applied humanities, while acting as a researcher and a literary therapy supervisor after completing literary therapy. Case 2 is Jasmine. Jasmine's life is changed so hardly. Her life before experiencing literary therapy, Jasmine came to meet literary therapeutics in the process of expanding the vocational expertise and exploring the more future-oriented work in the Reading Guidance Center that is operated in the form of a one-person business salon. with a reading and essay teacher. Second, her process of experiencing literary therapy. As for Jasmine, the literary therapy comes to be lead to self-healing. The extension to the treatment area allows literary therapy and Tamalpa expression artistic movement treatment to be integrated. Third, after polishing of literary therapy, Jasmine is performing a social function through using a variety of integrated literary therapy programs in lifelong education or re-education while managing literary healing center now. The qualification process for literary psychologist counselor RIS to being helpful even for women's re-employment and self-growth. This is case 3. This is Jennifer. Her life before experiencing literary therapy. Jennifer came to begin in order to receive a help for child rearing, not self-growth or self-development. In the process of encountering adult learning. Second, process of experiencing literary therapy for Jennifer. The transformative learning into herself comes to face a new turning point through meeting literary therapy by chance. After this, the process of applying self-growth and literary therapy to life leads to changing home and the family as well as herself. Third, her after polishing up literary therapy, meeting literary therapy after this becomes a motivational conversion into the learning for herself, resulting in learning a counseling center now. Lastly is case 4. This is a Bluebird. First, her life before experiencing literary therapy. Bluebird has been interested in the healing area in which the literature-related writing and a book get together from before meeting the sphere dubbed literary therapy. This is second, her process of experiencing literary therapy. Bluebird's academic curiosity and the attention to literature, which have been steadily continued in the meantime, made her select literary therapy. Third, her after polishing of literary therapy, during experiencing and learning literary therapy after this, the learning objective which has been continued regularly or the experience of lifelong education was led to clear self-awareness and self-discovery. And then I'm going to the conclusion and the suggestions of my presentation. As seen in 4 literary therapists cases of this study, the opportunity that each person came to face literary therapy and even the social sphere of coming to be active with the changed image are various. Accordingly, the research participants' cases, which were examined in this study, can be considered to be the ones of representative adult education that achieved self-growth and self-realization as a literary therapist at the turn of their life. At the same time, the study also examined an encounter with the poesy and bibliotherapy that developed into a mental growth, self-growth, while suggesting another positive role of the poesy and bibliotherapy as an adult education and a lifelong career. This is all I'm talking about my presentation. Thank you for listening. Bye.